Hey YouTube, and welcome to my first tutorial on Visual Basic for beginners. This is going to be Hello World we're going to be doing. So what you want to do is you want to open up Microsoft Visual Basic. Once that loads, I did Express because it's free. Go up, File, New Project. If you want to do Windows Form, that's what you're going to be using for basically everything you do. Hello World. Alright. Now, Visual Basic is object-oriented, and I'll show you what that means in a second, whenever it can finish loading. But object-oriented is where you basically have objects, and you place the objects, like you can place buttons, checkbox, any of these, to basically lay out a form, basically, like that. That's good. Alright, so what we're going to do, and we can just adjust it right here, I'm going to go through all the properties and everything just to start you off with. Alright, so basically I'm just going to do the necessities also. You got the button, that's your usual, like, just a button. Checkbox, check list box, combo box, label, link label, list box, mask text box, picture box, progress bar, radio button, text box. You got timer down here, color dialog, folder dialog, font dialog, open save file dialog. Okay. Now on each let me bring that up and all like that. Okay. On each one they're gonna have a properties which would be right over here. So button 1 properties, it's gonna be all this. It'll show you the name, which is what you call it whenever you're coding. That's what you call it by, so I'm just gonna leave that button 1. You got anchor, so whenever you move the form, it'll stay in that one spot. You have where it's located, size, the text. This is where you change it from what it's saying, so from what it prompts them. So we can just say hello world. Okay. So if we come back up to the button, it'll say hello world. Just gonna make that size that a little bit bigger. Alright. You put your start position. You really don't need that as far the form, but you got colors, everything. Then put a cursor every time you go over it, changes the cursor. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna name the form, the actual form. So what you do is you want to click on it, come down here to text, and it's gonna be prompt as hello world program. Alright, now that we did that, it says hello world program, and you got a button. Let's add one more button into there. Alright, and we're gonna name that as and is our exit. It's always good to have an exit button in any of your programs, just in case if it goes wrong, you have a quick way to get out of it. Alright, now what we're going to do is add a label. That's what you use to prompt something. You can put it before a text box or anything. So, label, we'll just put this right smack in the middle. Come over here, we'll say what should I get it to say? This is the text, I guess. Question mark. So now it'll say this is the text. Put that more in the middle. Okay. So let's make it a little bit bigger. You want to go to font. Click the little button, the ellipsis, I think it's called. Make it bold. Let's make it 12. Okay. There we go. Alright, so basically now you got the what it's going to show you. Now, of course, we haven't put in any of the code, so none of this does anything. You can size it and everything. Oops, let me bring that back up. And then the exit button, of course, works. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the exit button first. Let's click it, double click it. Or if that won't work, you can always go to, let's see, where is it? Somewhere in here. Code, yeah, view, and then you go to code, and it'll bring you here, and you can go to designer. But you bring up the button. Alright, now I'm going to show you what that is. Now this whole thing right here, that is automatically generated every time you bring up the button, or every time you click on an object, and so is InSub. Now, private sub and InSub, that separates it for that object. So this whole private sub is just for button 2 only, basically. And in button 2, we're going to put the code right here. And since it says exit, we're just going to do end. And there you go. And then it'll end the sub. And form 1, we really don't need that in there, because you're not clicking the form, or you're not, the form isn't loading. Let's go ahead and go to Hello World. Now, whenever we want to change something, a property, whenever the button is clicked, you gotta name the object you want to change. So we will do label 1, and then you gotta pick what you want to change from it, which would be in the property. So you put a dot, and then you want to do text. So when you go to the label, you want to change this right here. So you have to label it label1.text. So label1.text, then you want it to equal, put parentheses. Parentheses is every time you're inserting something, I guess. I don't really know how else to put it. But then we'll do hello world, and then close it off. So you want the label1.text to equal hello world. Easy as that. Alright, so now let's play it. Whenever you click it, it says hello world, and then exit. Okay. When you go into the code, you have this right here. This is all the objects you can pick from. Got button 1, button 2, label 1, and then the event that happens to it. So say we want to do, let's add something else into it. Let's go to toolbox. We'll just add another button. This can go off to the side some. Let's put the text in for click me. So what you can do is you can go, say if you want to get to button 3, then you want to pick what you want the event to happen. So we would do click, it would generate this for me. It's the same thing as double clicking that, except if you need to pick something specific, like you can do enter, leave, layout, key up, key down, mouse hover, mouse leave. And then you could just put in your code. We'll do label1.text is equal to We'll just do something. Really not. Kind of drawing a blank today. Alright. And then I'm going to minimize that since we really don't need that. Alright, so let's go to it. Make this big and cool. I really don't know about cool, but still. Okay, play it. So you got hello world and something. And it can switch back and forth. Alright, one last thing we're going to add. We're going to put in, let's see, where's menu strip. You just put it in. Click the little text and put in program. And right below it, put smile. Right below that, put hello world. Right below that, put your name. Set there. Alright. Now basically what I've created is a menu strip. Just as I said, click it, and then you can go down. But of course I haven't programmed to do anything, so let's do this. Let's go into form 1. We go to, we'll do hello world strip menu. Then you want to do click. What I'm going to do is I'm just copy this code. Control V. Alright. We'll do Sether. And then we'll do click. One.text is equal to, and then we'll do one last one. Smile. Click. Label one.text is equal to smile. Okay. So now we have coded every single one of those. Hello world, smile, Sether, hello world, click me, and everything works. That's it for the first day. If you have any questions, just message me and I'll get to you as soon as possible. Thanks.